Hello, welcome back to another keeper message. Today we are going to use the animal ancestor cards. So with the animal ancestor cards, there's also archangels that are associated with those animals. So we'll see who comes through. Who are your keepers today? Spirits, angels. Alright, so we have the cat coming through with Archangel Raphael. And the saying is, be relaxed and independent. Okay, and we also have the bee coming through with Archangel Preminilek. I'm not familiar with this archangel. Preminilek. Alright, so it's saying spread heart healing with joy. Okay, so those are the two in your first space coming through. And I'm feeling there's something to do around your creativity. Spirit's just showing me to be more relaxed, laid back in your creativity. To be creating something sweet there. Your next spot is a rat. Be true to yourself and the universe will reward you. And the archangels associated with the rat are Archangels Gabriel and Zadkiel. So showing lots of love surrounding the rat. And then in your third space, let's see, who do we have? Angels, spirits, guides, keepers. Who do we have? Yeah, I'm just getting like a more feeling of just more you need to be more relaxed in your creative endeavors, more loving as well. I'm getting kangaroo, be a force for good. And you got archangels Rokael, Gursissa, and Sandalphon coming through. So yeah, this reading is definitely to do around creativity. We got a lot of orange in this right now. Something sweet keeps coming through. Sweet like honey, like honey. Honeybee, honey. So maybe this is regarding someone's honey, like honey bun, or just creativity and being sweet in general. I'm just seeing like, how am I feeling this? It just feels like there needs to be more independence and relaxation around your honey, if that makes sense. Okay, and then we have the Power card coming through. So we got some Lion energy there, so some Leo. We got some fire energy. Coming through. Yeah, I'm just feeling like your power, it just feels like you have to take a more relaxed approach in your creative endeavors. I'm gonna say it almost feels like the power card coming through, that's strength and that sort of thing, and strength and wisdom in this coming through. But in this case, I'm actually feeling for the Power card that somebody's coming through almost too pushy, if that makes sense. Like they're being pushy. In the Cat's Heart space, this is regarding some sort of material things, and this is popping out at me, the red. So material is your root, your power, you know, like your work, your money, your home situation. It's just coming through saying like almost you need a sweeter approach, if that makes sense. And this feels like it's regarding, it's towards someone. Like it actually feels like it's toward another person. But for some of you, even though it feels this way to me, for some of you, this can be regarding a creative endeavor. Perhaps you're too pushy about the creative endeavor and you need to be more relaxed on it. Moving on is coming through under the rat. So I'm feeling like there needs to be some moving on from this pushiness, this yeah, from this, like, it feels like stubborn, like pushy, like you're just going in just bullheadedly almost, like and bees, you know, they represent like working, like I want to see you're working too hard towards something. With the cat energy, it's coming through saying, you know, you need to slow down, you need to take a more relaxed approach to this. You know, you need to find more independence, and that sort of thing. And with the rat coming through, be true to yourself. So just really honor what it is that you want. You know, do so with love. Love is coming out here. But again, we have, you know, it's red, kind of reddish orange. It's something to do with creativity. I'm really feeling creativity here. Be a force for good, and then you have shadow coming through under that. So it feels like you're kind of torn. You know, there's a dark side and the good side, and it's almost like it feels like you're torn between the two, but it's really, you have to embrace both sides, if that makes sense. You want to be a force for good, so you want that light side, you do want that, but in order to see the light, you need to see the darkness. So you need a balance between the two, and then you need to choose good, if that makes sense. You know, he or she, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that's a he. He's moving towards the light, and you see these two are looking at each other. Light is looking at each other, and there's lots of green in here. So it feels like you're moving on from whatever this, I'm going to say bullheaded, take charge, work too hard, whatever this was, right? I'm feeling like you're moving out of the space, but you need to embrace, and you have the healing here, so you need to really, you're in this healing space right now. I'm feeling you just need to communicate to yourself more, with love, and you know, and embrace that good. And you see how the kangaroo's heart is really lit up there, you know. There's a lot of pink and stuff behind him, and pink also is love as well. It's a higher heart, and then it's pointing right at whatever this, like this deals with your staff girl chakra, so your passions, your desires, your creativity. To me, it's creativity, you know, and again, it's behind. It's pointing up, and the cat's ear is actually pointing at it. So there's something that you're moving on towards that's very creative. It's a passion for you. It drives you. You know, it's really good for you. But again, it just feels like you're forcing it, if that makes sense. So we have number 6, the with consciousness and deserving. So it feels like in the past, this card feels like people don't feel deserving, but in this case, it feels like somebody does feel deserving. And they are, however, let's see, how they're going about it is they're working too hard, if that makes sense, and they need that more relaxed place. They need to get into that more relaxed place, if that makes sense. Professional assistant. So yeah, there's, see, it's moving on from this feels like a work situation, like somebody was working too hard, now they're moving on from it. There was a decision. Either there is a decision being made, or they have made. Like, it almost feels like they have made, because they're looking back. It feels almost like they already made this decision. Whatever this is, they're moving on from it. What more do you want to tell us, Spirit? We have... Okay. We have communication coming through here. We also have a increase. The word is increase. And there's a path to like a castle, and there's all these beautiful rocks and trees and surrounded by love and things like that. And it's a cycle. It's saying cycle. So there's some sort of cycle. Like you're on a path and it's a cycle. You've almost completed the cycle, if that makes sense. You're on the road to the increase, if that makes sense. And coming through is Spirit, a 2 with union, and the word is your higher self. So yeah, it feels like there's by listening to your higher self, embracing this shadow, you know, having balance within these two, the shadow and the darkness, or the light and the darkness, is brought you into embracing your higher self. It feels like. Yeah, it feels like you're moving away from this, that there is a decision. Either you have made it or you're about to make it. It feels like you're almost moving away from it. And it feels like you're not necessarily moving away from whatever the job is or whatever, but the working too hard you're working away from. Because it feels like you were working so hard, you felt deserving of it, but you weren't getting it. And then he's moving forward. And by moving forward and embracing that balance, that sweetness and that relaxed approach, feels like it's moving in, if that makes sense. Like moving, like you're embracing it, if that makes sense. Sometimes this stuff does not make sense to me. Spirit, you know, they give me these messages, and it's just like, I don't know where we're going with this, but we'll run with it because somebody obviously needs to hear it. Okay, so yeah, see, we have discipline, armor, and boundaries coming through with this. So you know, the boundaries card is pointing out to me, is jumping kind of out. And these are the kings are the doers, right? Metal is very hard you know, 7 is decision. So, and this is hard. It's like there was a hard decision that needed to be made, revolving, you know, some sort of, I'm going to say communication. We also have the rainbow prince coming through with compensation and perseverance. And again, you know, it's like, in this card, he's releasing a rainbow. Like, he's like, okay, you know what? Here we go. Here you go. Here's a rainbow. And so what a rainbow signifies to me is the calm after the storm, you know, the beauty after the storm. So it's like he's releasing that. He's saying, okay, here you go. Here's the beauty after the storm. This is what your compensation is for your perseverance. You know, whatever this was, it was hard. You struggled through it, but now here you go. That's what it feels like. And then you have the Lady of the Mirror coming through with 44. And that's, again, that's your structure and that sort of thing. So, you know, your finances, your home life. And it's saying reflection and non-judgment. So here it's saying don't, you know, reflect upon it, but don't judge it, if that makes sense. Like, take a non-judgmental view upon reflecting it. So, you know, you can, a good way to do this is to write down a list of maybe your good traits and your bad traits, things that helped you along the way and things that didn't help you along the way. And this could be like maybe personality traits maybe that help you along the way and don't help you, you know, along the way. It could be habits you have, communication styles that help you along the way and don't judge it. You can also get help, like assistance from other people on this. So like saying, okay, you know, what are my good traits and what are my bad traits, and then write them down. But don't be so hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Take from those lessons, and then take them as lessons, you know, to grow, to advance on your journey. You know, so if, say, somebody says, oh, you know, you're very stubborn, or you're very frugal, or, you know, like, don't say, oh my God, that's terrible, you know, and then just dwell on it. So, okay, well, I am this, but how do I make me more giving? How do we make me more, more relaxed, like less intense, less stubborn? You know, how do we go? What things do I need to do to work on this side of myself? So again, we got with the moving on, with the professional assistants and the rat, we have the River Queen. So flow, letting go. And we have communication and healing with the 36. And she's coming out of the water. You know, she's just letting go. She's looking. she's looking forward. She's not looking behind herself. And you see the moving on. You have the sixes here, the healing, and they're both looking forward. With the rainbow prince, he's looking forward. They're deserving. She's looking back. You know, the cat's looking back. They're just... You have to look forward, if that makes sense. Not back. Keep flowing forward. Moving on forward. In Spirit saying, you know, don't not work hard. You still want to work hard like the bee. But you want to take a sweeter approach, a more relaxed approach to it. And do feel deserving, but not overly deserving, if that makes sense. Because there's a fine line between feeling, you know, deserving when you're not. You know, like almost narcissistic, in a narcissistic way, in an egotistical way. So we don't want to be in that space. We want to, you know, because that's more the shadow side. We want to create that balance. So, I mean, and that will really, you know, bring us to this increase. But again, make sure you're listening to your higher self. On the resting tree. So we have, you know, she seems tired. This is patience, stillness, and we come across with two unions, like a 22. It's almost saying like you work so hard, you're almost in a space right now where you've given up, it feels like. You're like, oh my god, you're just exhausted. But again, you know, the Spirit's coming in saying you really have to listen to your higher self and embrace this shadow light side of you and create that balance. Focus on the good, but really recognize the bad. Recognize it, don't dwell on it, let it go. Move on from it, if that makes sense. Okay, let's pull some daily advice. Give us possibly some more clarity on this. Yeah, this is kind of a different read than I normally get. Okay, so this says assertiveness. So your day is this situation can be healed gently and with love. So again, you know, the going in all headstrong and I'm gonna achieve this attitude for whatever situation maybe right now, you don't want that. This situation can be healed gently and with love as you've requested. Yet there's also a need for strength and truthfulness with other people involved. We will stand right before you as you speak your truth, giving your strength and guiding your words. Yeah. Spirit's just coming through really saying, you know, you are a hard worker, you are deserving, you need to be perhaps less stubborn, and maybe I want to say narcissistic, but it doesn't feel like it fits. Like it, but it does feel like you feel like you're entitled to something that maybe perhaps you're not entitled to, if that makes sense. But they're saying like it's not lost. You can still have these things, you still are deserving of these things, but the way you go about it should be almost like softer, with a more relaxed approach, a more balanced approach. Listening to your higher self, like your intuition and those sorts of things, focusing on the good instead of the negative. But don't be passive either. Make sure you're still speaking your truth and being assertive, if that makes sense. So, yeah. All right, so now focus on a question, and I will pull a card, and that will give you the answer. All right, so I'm not sure what the question was, but 2 cards pulled or came out. Opportunity and abundance. So yeah, really by embracing a more relaxed, assertive, go with the flow, focus on the good, not the negative, embrace that balance between the dark and the light, and listening to your intuition. This increase is definitely going to occur. Okay. It's feeling like there is opportunity, there is abundance. If your question was revolved around this, if it was anything else, well, opportunity and abundance. So, very good. All right. All right, now we pull a daily keys to success card, and this just has affirmations and actions that you can focus on for your day, help you with your day. All right, we have love life. All right, wow. Okay, so it's saying you need to focus more on your love life. So we're coming through with unions and structure here. So with the 2 and the 4, 24, unions and structure, that means to me. Your key words, so things you can focus on, are romance, emotions, energy, compassion, and your power thought, which is like an affirmation for the day. I am a good person. People love me. And your action for today is hug and kiss your partner or your friend. Newsflash. So this is something Spirit wants to tell you to realize. Your empathy attracts everyone. You are such a kind person. So, yeah. Remember that. But remember, I'm feeling that some of you are very headstrong and you're just like a go-getter. You're just like all or nothing. And Spirit just really wants to emphasize, just relax. You are such a good person. You are so hardworking. But you need to just chill. If that makes sense. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you. Lots of loves. Love and hugs. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.